Welcome. Hi, my name is Samuel James Price, known as the Crypto Lifer here on YouTube, and every single week on Friday afternoon, I'm going to give you an update into the bigger look at what's happening. We're going to look at Bitcoin dominance, the dollar index, and the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency. A nice quick 5 minutes just to break down the week and see what's happening for the week ahead and what levels are key to break above. First thing we're going to start off is with Bitcoin, and we're going to discuss what I see happening for Bitcoin and the US dollar index. And here we have a bullish and bearish scenario that I'd like to talk about. I'm going to start with the bullish scenario first to show you what I'm looking at. Previous support becomes new resistance. We have easily supported the zone here nicely at 28,800 about. That's going to be a level we're going to have to get back above. If Bitcoin can get back above this level, it can use it as support. Very well come and try to break 32,000 and then get all the way up here to the measured move, which is the length of this pole, all the way to about 38,000. This is called an ascending triangle. You have a flatter top and an upward trending bottom. This usually can break up to the upside in a more bullish scenario. However, by the book, it is a bilateral pattern that could break up or down either way. I just want you to know that, one thing I keep talking about is this diagonal trend line. We bounced, resistance. We got back above it. It's a pretty substantial area. We keep testing it. We can't seem to break it. The bulls can't seem to break us back down. The stochastics RSI, which levels momentum, has said we've had a lot of downward momentum and not enough price action to the downside, which tells me that the bears don't have the strength that they had before. They're struggling a little bit, and it's going to take some time. So when I look at this closely, we're touching the 21-day moving average, and our measured move takes us to about 38,000. That's your bullish scenario. I am long right now, too. I will jump on that side and not just give you both things. I am long. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. If we break this trend line and we bearishly retest it, a short down to 25,003, 25,200 is most likely. Will we get there? I think a lot of people are going to front run the price of Bitcoin and get as much as they can before we go too low. They waited too long and they saw these dips. There is a CME gap somewhere around the 20,000 level, but there's another one up there. I'll also throw that in there. I forget. I'll throw the CME gap in there for you as well, so you can see that as well. I'll jump into that at the end of the stream, though. I'll save that for the end. So there's my bullish scenario for Bitcoin, okay? Let me show you the bearish scenario. The bearish scenario could be that we're in a rising wedge, okay? There's a little bit of bearish divergence here because this is kind of swinging down while this is swinging up on the RSI. Look, the RSI has a swing high. It's a swing high, which is a downtrend. But this is an uptrend. That tells you it is a bearish divergence. However, they've tried to break that diagonal trend line, and they've been able to. You can still put this up as a rising wedge. Rising wedges do break down where they began. If this decided to just not be able to get back above 29,000 and get rejected with a possible M, so you'd be looking for possibly something like this, a double top. Likely we could break us down here, and then even further down all the way to where we began at about 17,500 to this point of control. Could that happen? It's possible. However, there's that trend line that I just discussed on the bullish side, and as long as that trend line holds, this will not happen. So I'm watching that trend line and putting my faith in it that as long as we stay above it, we remain bullish. So that's another reason why I've been bullish. One other thing I wanted to discuss, if we go back to the more bullish scenario here and we take away the bearish scenario and we look at the 3-day chart, I notoriously have traded up to the 300-day moving average on multiple time frames. This is telling me we're likely to pump up at least to this next resistance point at 32,200 and touch and tap this yellow line, the 200 SMA on the 3-day chart. So we're watching the 3-day, which is very close. Also, I have a 3-day anomaly video coming out. You want to check that out. If we could put a link to it somewhere here, check out that video because it's going to show you that even though we're approaching oversold regions on the 3-day, that has also been a time where we've seen a massive move for Bitcoin. So my conviction sticks that as long as we stay above this diagonal trend line, I could see Bitcoin break back above this zone here at 29,000, 28.8, and continue here, and then make some more chop where it can get some consolidation and bullishly move back to 38,000. That is going to be my next target, and you can see that's our next big resistance point for Bitcoin. We're going to slip down into the Bitcoin dominance, and if Bitcoin rips, Bitcoin dominance would likely rip with it. This is a bull flag oversold on the daily time frame, lack of bullish momentum on the MACD, suggesting that we will get some type of move here for Bitcoin. It's also touching the 21-day moving average. That's a signature idea that I play over and over again for gains bullishly. It's happened many times on my live stream live, and I've also traded it myself over and over again. This is a likely scenario. However, could we double top here and then make the drop down? We're both open for both things. Let's let this daily play out. What would happen is we would come back on the stochastics on the daily, and we would make it all the way back here to the top of the channel. And if we can get up, if we get back up here and we double top and we don't really get back above this region, it's very likely that when the Stokes reset, we come down. However, if the daily stochastics do move back up to the dotted line here and we get a move, it's very likely that, like, if this comes up and we start to get the move, we are going to blast all the way here to this next target at 52. Watch your altcoins and your BTC pairs there. Bitcoin would be the mainstay, the main staple, and people will be running into Bitcoin and FOMOing like you wouldn't believe. They will be selling altcoins just to get into Bitcoin. So just be careful. I'm always wary of this, so I'd rather be long Bitcoin until it breaks this diagonal trend line than be short Bitcoin, because in that case, you could get absolutely wrecked if you're trading BTC pairs or trying to hedge with the altcoins at the wrong time. We go to the dollar index, and we called the top here. Remember, back in the day, ended up buying a whole Bitcoin near this area because I knew my purchasing power for the dollar would be relinquished and pushed to the downside. We look here, and we can see the weekly still has more room to come to the downside, and we're still headed down. I want to see us come all the way down to this green area, this green zone. The 4-hour time frame's also getting overbought, and we could not get back above a previous resistance. Not a good sign. Also, the hegemony of the dollar is starting to drop. You can see all these countries around the world starting to make deals in different things, petro deals, the yuan, Brazil, China. It's coming. They've realized that through the dollar petro controlling the world markets, it's been suffering all the other economies and sanctioning them. They want to be free of their own things. They want to do whatever they want. They want to be free of the connection to the US dollar, and they're starting to build other ways around it, and it's starting to happen. This 4-hour could start this move down here. This is then a bear flag, in my humble opinion, that could further bring us down to this area. We do see a little bullish divergence here on the dollar, something we do have to accept right there, but not too shabby because it's kind of split up and it's not perfect. I look for this 4-hour to continue to dump and not be able to get back above 102. That's another case that Bitcoin could have a pretty big move to the upside in the near future, like the next 5 to 10 or 12 days. We look at the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency, and it's interesting. It's doing the same thing that Bitcoin's doing, but look, it hasn't breached the diagonal trend line yet. It's still below it. Bitcoin got on the other side of this. This hasn't. Also, previous resistance here for the total market cap. So we're still kind of at a resistance, even though Bitcoin is broken above this level. A lot of times Bitcoin does it first. That money continues to grab from the rest of the world, and then the total market cap does rip. I've seen it happen before. It's not guaranteed. This also has the same bearish scenario that we're in the rising wedge that we could break down to the point of control at about $900 billion. Still holding above $1 trillion is a really good sign, and our next stop, if it moved with the entire market and Bitcoin does rip, is $1.48 trillion. The level we have to get back above is 1.17. You see us close daily or, a few daily candles above the zone. It's likely we're going to tussle with this area for consolidation and move further up to $1.48 billion. That's Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance, the dollar index, and total. The last thing I want to leave you with is the CME futures, just so you understand. Everyone's like, are we going to go to the next gap? Remember, Bitcoin's also in a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. The measured move for that is to the upside back at that $38,500 level. That would also close this CME gap that we've been waiting. And look, this CME gap, which we kind of did close already. So there's also a CME gap right here. If I undo everything and just look at the chart, there's a CME gap right there too. A very, very small one there at about 20,100 to about 20,002 or 20,000, 21,100 to about 20,000 area. So which one would we close first? Not all close. About 6% of all CME gaps will never close. Usually you do go to the one closer. That one is a lot closer. So as much as we have one here, we also have one there just to counteract the idea of everyone who's worried about the CME gap. And also worrying doesn't make any sense. If you can do something about it, you can't worry. If you can't do something about it, you can't worry. Worrying is a made-up imagination. So don't worry. Do not live in fear. Have faith in yourself, in your life, and you will achieve greatness. Everybody, this is my update for the week. And thank you so much for coming. Know I go live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m., 7 days a week. And we haven't taken a day off since February of 2021. We're going for that Guinness Book of World Records of streaming. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. Believe in yourself, and you will achieve everything you put your mind to.